Well, I've never been on camera before. I'm kind of nervous. Yeah! It's a mini egg!
Hey, it's April, one of my favorite months. Lots to celebrate. It's my mom's birthday, it's my grandma's birthday, it's my niece's birthday, and my brother got married in April. Travis, why would you do that? It's such a busy month. And it is also mini egg season. I love these things. I'm obsessed with them, and so is my fiance Sophia. She can't get enough of them. So I thought, with all the celebrations in April and it's mini egg season, why not make a mini egg cheesecake? Yes, you heard me right. A mini egg cheesecake. This, my friend, is going to be delicious. We can fix that later, right? Sweet. So there's two things I love about a cheesecake. One is the creamy inside of that delicate cream cheese filling. And number two is the crust, a nice crisp crust. So a regular cheesecake is made with graham crackers, but I'm gonna use chocolate crumb because it's all about the mini egg. And this one's super simple. So just some chocolate crumb and then some nice melted butter. And because I like that really big sweetness in a mini egg, just a shot of sugar. That's all you need to make a nice crust, and then I like to mix it around till it resembles sand. This stuff's great. It's like store-bought graham cracker, but it's chocolate. It's the same effect. A little bit of sugar, a little bit of butter, you're good to go, and you want it to resemble wet sand. And that butter and the chocolate, when you cook the crust, it gets nice and crispy. Super good. And a cake pan. So I just take one, there's a bit of parchment paper in the bottom, give it a good spray, and it ensures the crust is non-stick and the cheesecake will slide right out. I like a lot of crumbs, so put it in. And because the butter's in there and it's nice and wet, you can just use a spoon and move it around and get it into the sides. And sometimes I like when the chocolate crust comes up the side of the cheesecake and makes it really cool. And it smells so good. Like the warm butter and the chocolate and the sugar. We're building flavor. I can't believe I'm making a mini egg cheesecake. That's so good. So put some pressure on the crust, get it nice and flat. This is great, and this is a super good tip. Put it in the oven, 350 for 10 minutes. You set it, you get a nice crust, and then when you cut the cheesecake, it's got that snap texture. 350, 10 minutes. In case you forgot, it's 350 degrees for 10 minutes. All right, it's been 30 minutes. Just kidding, it's been 10 minutes. So this is important. 350 for 10 minutes, and then turn the oven up to 400 for the cheesecake. That's a ton of buttons to get to 400, but away we go. All right, well the crust cools, we can make the filling. Swap with me. This is a New York cheesecake style cheesecake, so it starts with a ton of cream cheese, and this is a whopping 2 pounds of cream cheese. But here's a little tip, come here. If you wanna make a nice smooth cheesecake, get it at room temperature. If the cheese is at room temperature, get no lumps and it whips up nice and easy. So all of the cream cheese into the mixer. And then here's another great tip. I put the sugar in with the cream cheese. If you put the sugar in with the cream cheese, it helps break apart the cheese and you get a nice, smooth cheesecake. So a couple good shots of sugar. It's about 1.25 cups. And then this is great. Let the mixer run, let it beat up the cream cheese, and because it's soft, it gets nice and smooth. Oh yeah, room temperature cream cheese is the only way to go. Okay, that's perfect. Because the cream cheese is room temperature, look at how silky smooth that is. So in order to get a really nice creamy texture, I put some cornstarch in it, about 3 tablespoons, and the cornstarch, when it cooks, gives the cheesecake a super creamy texture. And then a little bit of flavoring, super simple, classic in a New York style cheesecake, or a mini egg cheesecake. There's a nice shot of vanilla. It highlights the cream cheese flavors, and it's really good. So about 2 tablespoons, maybe a tablespoon and a half. And because the cream cheese is so fatty, I like to lighten things up with some lemon zest. If you put a little bit of lemon zest in the cream cheese, it kind of cuts through the fattiness and makes it really nice and balanced. It's all about the balance in the cheesecake. A few ingredients, super simple, but you get the lemon and the vanilla in there, and then we are talking balance and flavor. Oh, it smells so good already. All right, then you want to beat in the vanilla, lemon, cornstarch. Here's another great tip. During the process of a cheesecake, I always like to scrape down the bowl because some stuff can get in the bottom in there, some of the lemon zest, some of the cornstarch, but if you mix it up, you get a really nice smooth cheesecake. And you can see already that because it's room temperature, you scrape the sides of the bowl, it's so nice and creamy. No lumps in the cheesecake. Okay, so here's another good tip as well. I use some eggs in it, so 3 eggs and 1 yolk. Let's do it. So if you've ever made cheesecake before and sometimes when you cook it, you get a crack in it, I can solve that problem for you right now. So put the eggs in. And really slow, go really, really slow. And you just want to do this gently. If you over whip it, you give the eggs air, and when you give the eggs air, the cheesecake likes to puff up. When the cheesecake puffs up, that's when it cracks. So go really slow with it, just till the eggs are mixed in, and then stop, and that's how you get a nice flat cheesecake with no cracks. That's it, that's all you gotta do. Scrape the bowl, we're good to go. All right, let's fill it. Yes. All right, can we like cue to some super dramatic music while I pour it into here? Yeah, all right, let's do it. Perfectly smooth and creamy. So just spread it out a little bit. And that's a great tip about the eggs. Don't overbeat the eggs and you will get that cheesecake will be as flat as that when it comes out. All right, now when it comes to cooking it, this is the hardest part of the recipe, but it's super easy. I'll see you at the oven. The hardest part, but the funnest part about this recipe is the cook time. So it's 400 degrees for 10 minutes, then 225 degrees for 25 minutes, then turn the oven off and wait 1 hour. Put in the fridge to cool it for 5 hours, and then it'll pop right out of the mold. I would like to say that again, but I'm out of breath, so we're gonna do it in text. So after you've cooled it for 5 hours, it pops out of the mold, and look at this cheesecake. Because you didn't whip the eggs, look at how nice and flat it is and no cracks. It smells delicious, and a chocolate crust to boot. All right, so I like to put a nice little topping on it before I start to garnish it, and this one's really easy. I like the tanginess of sour cream, but sour cream isn't sweet. It does have a nice tartness, and to sweeten it up a little bit, just a touch of powdered sugar, maybe just a little extra because I love the sweetness. All right, so this is what I do. Take the sour cream, just put it on top, and then get a cake spreader, and you just want to make a nice even layer of the sour cream on top of the cheesecake.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove. Okay,
That looks fantastic. So I had this really cool idea because it's a mini egg cheesecake that I would make a nest for the mini eggs. And then I thought, how could I make a nest? I could use hay, but that's not edible. And then I thought phyllo pastry. So I'm gonna shred some phyllo pastry, deep fry it, and try and make a beautiful looking nest. All right, this is gonna be fun. Okay, that's cool. I think it's gonna make the perfect nest. When these fry and get really crispy, I think you're going to get a nest effect. Okay, let's go to the deep fryer. All right, to make the phyllo nest, you need some deep frying oil, vegetable oil, 350 degrees, don't fill it up too high. And then the trick to make the nest is a big ladle, a little ladle. Big ladle goes in, phyllo goes in, then you trap it, and you get a nest shape. You wanna do it? Yeah, I thought so. All right, let's rock and roll. All right, check this out. You want to use a lot of phyllo, and then when you dig it up, you have a little nest shape. I'll take some of that off, but that's the exact shape that I want. It's a little nest. Peace. Put it on some paper towel, let the excess oil drain off, and then I'm gonna cover it in powdered sugar. And my favorite part, I get to decorate the cake. If you got kids, bring them into the kitchen. Introduce them to sugar and have some fun. I'm thinking something inspirational for music, lots of vocals. Okay, drop the vocals. All right, let's do this. There you have it, my friends, the mighty mini egg cheesecake. And I want to eat it so bad, but I can't, because it's my mother's birthday, my grandmother's birthday, my niece's birthday, my brother got married this month, so I have a whole bunch of people to share it with. But I can tell you it's going to be delicious. Creamy, classic New York cheesecake, crispy chocolate crust, covered in mini eggs with an edible nest. That thing's a feast for the eyes and a bite for the soul. Make this with somebody that you love, have a big smile, make it for a birthday, celebrate, or just eat it alone. Delicious.